Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Royals, issue number 9. Now, I like this comic book, I do. I do have one big complaint, though. I think it's everybody's complaint for the most part. The idea of Medusa being with Gorgon. I mean, come on, man. Who really believes that? Now, I'll get to that again in a second. The idea here is that they're flying through space. The whatever art style was used in the last issue was very hard to understand, and seeing Flint touching the sky spear and all that stuff, I don't know, man. It was hard to really make sense of what had happened, how they were able to escape the problem with the snarks. I really thought that was going to go on for an extra issue. I'm expecting to see something like that now. It's weird, man. The way that it ended, it was just so weird. Anyway, that was supposed to be a two-part issue, and yeah, okay. Anyway, so whatever. I guess the first part where they're hinted at is counted as one of those issues. Either way, this issue gets a lot better, and the art, for the most part, is a whole lot better also. I think they were trying to recreate the Jack Kirby-esque style of the Sentinels, but with these primitors, and it really didn't cut off quite the same way. It's very different, not in a good way. But aside from that, seriously, like the home world, the outer rings, all that's everything else that they were showing in this book for the most part, done really well. Seeing Medusa looking in the mirror and trying to draw hair on herself, after the shower, with the water and the smog and the smoke, the fog, everything. It was pretty good. I dug it. So there was a whole lot of good, and there was a little bit of bad. Try to focus more on the good. That's what I'm doing, but the bad does need to be mentioned. Either way, they're home now. They're home-ish. They're hoping that they're going to actually find Primogen here. That's the original version of Terrigen. And they're questioning, what's going to happen now? Is it going to be worse for Medusa? Is it going to be better? Can this replace? Can this improve? What's going on? Are we going to actually see secondary Terrigenesis again? It would be tertiary, but they're going to call it secondary if that's going to be the case. They're going to completely ignore everything that happened to, like, Silent War and everything, which, whatever. I'm okay with it. But this comic was pretty good. I'm going to give this a B-. It was better than you'd imagine, saying from my tone. Plus, I still have a hard time with my voice right now. Still sick. Got a nice cup of tea here. But the biggest problem that I have that's actually casting a huge shadow over this entire story, the entire title, is the idea that, hey man, check it out. It looks like Medusa and Gorgon are together. And it just happened. It literally just happened. It was in the previous issue. And it's just out of nowhere, just sprung on us. In this issue, they try to explain it. The problem is they try to explain it acting like all these years of them together didn't mean anything. Like she was just going through the motions, like, oh, well, he's the king and I'm the queen, so that's just the way it's got to be. No. Sorry, you can't just erase years and years, like from the 70s, all that we'd read about the Inhumans. You can't, no, come on, man. Not without some kind of an explanation. Don't just force this down our throats like that. And that's what it feels like to me. It feels like I'm being force-fed this. You can't undo decades of a romance. I mean, just in when all of these different Inhumans titles were introduced, what'd they do? They showed us the Inhumans Prime. And right there, she gets back with Black Bolt, she, after she dumps Johnny, and like she really just dumped Johnny, which is weird, and Black Bolt got back with her and all that stuff, but like they had a serious moment together, and it wasn't just a moment, but like I think you understand what I'm getting at. Like they were happy to be with each other. She wasn't faking that. So now all of a sudden this just feels like nonsense to me. Maybe it'll turn into something better, but sometimes, like, when you had, look, first impressions, right? And this was kind of ramrodded. And no, like, if they would have built this up over a couple of issues, it would have been easier to digest. Maybe I could get behind it. But right now, I'm going to be really resistant to it, even though I'm going to try and open up to it. I'm inherently extremely resistant to it because decades, and you just, in a few panels in the last issue, you suddenly spring this on us, and now in this issue, oh yeah, all that stuff now lies. Like, come on. This was just not good. So anyway, guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.